I have studied every major silver bull market in the last 100 years, every single one. The 1970s run from $1.50 to $50. The 2008 to 2011 run from $8 to $49. The partial recovery from 2015 to 2020. And what I am about to show you is something I find genuinely remarkable. Not because it is surprising to me, because it is so precise, so consistent, so mathematically repeatable that it borders on the mechanical. Before every single major silver explosion in modern history, the same four conditions have appeared in the same sequence. Not three of them, not most of them, all four, every time. And right now, in May 2026, all four of those conditions are present simultaneously for only the third time in 50 years. I am going to give you a specific number in about 90 seconds that will tell you exactly where we are in that sequence right now. Stay with me because this changes how you think about silver permanently. Subscribe to this channel right now. Not at the end. Now. What I am handing you in this video is 50 years of pattern recognition applied to the most underowned and misunderstood monetary asset in the global financial system. Subscribe and then do not move. Here is the number. 6 consecutive years of global silver deficits. 6 years in a row where the world consumed more silver than it produced. 6 years of drawing down reserves that took decades to accumulate. The Silver Institute publishes this data every year, and the number is not close. It is not a rounding error deficit. It is a structural, persistent, widening gap between what the world demands and what the ground produces. And here is why that number is the foundation of everything I am about to tell you. You cannot run a structural deficit in a commodity with genuine industrial irreplaceability for 6 consecutive years without eventually hitting a wall. The question is never whether the wall exists. The question is when you hit it. And the three other conditions I am about to walk you through tell me we are very close to that wall right now. Are you the kind of investor who understands the difference between silver, the precious metal, and silver, the industrial commodity? Because most retail investors think of silver as the cheaper version of gold, a safe haven, a store of value, something you buy when you are worried about inflation. And that framing is not wrong, but it is dangerously incomplete because silver is simultaneously the most electrically conductive metal on Earth, and there is no substitute that performs at the same level. Every solar panel, every electric vehicle, every 5G antenna, every AI data center, every medical device that requires reliable electrical conductivity at industrial scale uses silver. And the demand from those sectors is not cyclical, it is structural, it is growing, and it runs directly into the 6-year deficit I just described. Stay with me, because the interaction between the monetary demand and the industrial demand is the most important dynamic in the silver market right now, and almost nobody is explaining it correctly. Here are the 4 conditions that have preceded every major silver explosion in the last 50 years. I want you to listen to each one carefully, because I am going to show you that all 4 are present right now. Condition 1 is a sustained period of price suppression, followed by a dramatic compression in the paper to physical ratio. In plain language, when the price of paper silver contracts on exchanges like COMEX, diverges dramatically from the price of physical silver that you can actually hold in your hand. Something has to give. In March 2026, COMEX registered silver available for delivery stood at 86 million ounces against 52 million ounces of open delivery demand. That is not a comfortable cushion. That is a system under structural stress. The paper market said one price. The physical market told a different story. This exact divergence appeared in 1979 before silver went from $8 to $50. It appeared again in 2010 before silver doubled in 12 months. It is appearing again right now. Condition 2 is central bank and sovereign wealth fund accumulation of precious metals at a pace that suggests institutional preparation for a monetary transition. I have already described the gold buying. But what most investors are missing is the silver implication. When central banks accumulate gold at record pace, they are not buying gold in isolation. They are signaling a view about the entire monetary system. And the same structural forces that make gold attractive in a monetary transition make silver doubly attractive, because silver carries both the monetary premium and the industrial scarcity premium simultaneously. Condition 3 is a simultaneous supply shock from a major producing region. Chile and Peru together produce more than 40% of the world's silver. Both countries are currently dealing with political instability, regulatory changes, and infrastructure constraints that are limiting new mine development at exactly the moment demand is accelerating. You cannot build a new silver mine in 18 months. The permitting alone takes years, and the capital investment required means that even if a new mine was approved today, it would not produce meaningful supply for 3 to 5 years. The supply response to this deficit is structurally delayed in a way that has no precedent in the modern silver market. Condition 4 is what I call the monetary catalyst, the specific event or policy decision that converts a smoldering supply and demand imbalance into an explosive price move. In 1971, it was Nixon ending gold convertibility. In 2008, it was the Federal Reserve going to zero and launching quantitative easing. Right now, the monetary catalyst is the convergence of financial repression, Federal Reserve credibility loss, and dollar reserve currency pressure that I have been documenting for the last several months. When governments debase paper currency, the assets with genuine physical scarcity reprice, and silver, carrying both its monetary premium and its irreplaceable industrial utility, reprices with a leverage to gold that has historically averaged between 2 and 3 to 1 on the upside. Now here is where I need you to pay very close attention, because this is the part that separates the investors who build wealth from the ones who understand everything I just said and still do nothing. All 4 conditions are present simultaneously right now. The paper to physical divergence is documented and measurable. The institutional accumulation signal is in the central bank data. The supply shock is visible in the production numbers from Chile and Peru. And the monetary catalyst is being actively constructed by the fiscal and monetary policy decisions I have described across multiple videos. I have only seen all 4 conditions present simultaneously twice before in my 50-year career. In 2010, in 1979, silver went from $8 to $50 in 18 months. In 2010, silver went from $18 to $49 in 12 months. I am not giving you a price target. I am giving you a pattern that is repeated with documented precision across 2 prior occurrences, and that is setting up for a third. Here is what makes this setup different from both previous ones, and why I believe the potential move could be larger than either historical precedent. The industrial demand component is categorically larger than it was in either 1979 or 2010. In 1979, there was no solar industry consuming silver at scale. There was no electric vehicle fleet. There was no AI infrastructure build-out requiring precision electrical components. The silver market of 1979 was primarily a monetary market, with some photography and industrial demand. Today, the solar industry alone consumes roughly 20% of annual global silver supply. Electric vehicles use double the silver of a gasoline-powered car.